Hello, my name is Cindy and I'm an artist educator at the Museum of Contemporary Art Australia. Today we'll be doing an activity that will allow you to take 5 to 10 minutes break from your day and just to focus upon sensing where you are. So we'll be doing some drawing, but drawing that is based upon listening and touch as opposed to just looking. Now, before I continue, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I'm making this video on. So I would like to acknowledge the Darramuragal people, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. As a practicing artist, I work in experimental drawing, and an artist in the Museum of Contemporary Art's collection that I'm very drawn to is the work of Nicole Foreshew. Now, Nicole Foreshew is a Wiradjuri artist, and she makes works that focus upon how she can connect to places that are important to her and her family. So her practice spans across photography, video, sculpture and textiles, and what really fascinates me about her works is the way that they are able to actually express or imbue her bodily connections with places in her country that are really significant, but it's done so in a way that is very subtle, and she transforms materials as a part of these processes as well. So particularly in pieces such as Nöye or Sacred. So I was thinking today about how we can also develop a sensitivity and an awareness to where we are placed. For this activity, you'll need to find a quiet spot. It can be indoors, inside your home, or it can be like me, I'm just on my balcony. And if you're in a public place, just make sure you're somewhere safe and away from other people. And you'll need a few materials as well. So I'm just going to show you a few things that you'll need. They're quite simple and you can find them around your home. So for this activity, you'll need a sketchbook. A3 is great. If you don't have one, a small notebook is perfectly fine as well. You'll also need something to draw with. So I have here a collection of pencils, charcoal, things that I found around my studio. So I have a few, these are charcoal pencils. They work really well. I have a couple of simple lead pencils as well. I also have a couple of pens and some ink pencils, which are actually water soluble. These are a couple of charcoal sticks and also a graphite stick. Now, if you don't have any of those, don't worry. A biro will work just as well. So you'll just need really a surface to draw on and something to draw with. You'll also need a few objects. So I recommend taking a walk around where you live, or maybe have a look in your garden as well. I've had a look around my balcony where I am, and I've just picked up this Japanese maple leaf from a plant that my mother actually gave me, and I'm trying to nurture and grow here. I also have a cockatoo feather, and I believe this is a lorikeet feather. But we have plenty of native birds living around our area, and they often drop their feathers. So I love to walk around and pick up what I find. So it's often really nice to actually find something that grows or lives here, so that you have a sense of connecting with where you are. Now, to get started, I'd like you to have your sketchbook or your notepad just in front of you, and I'd like you to pick up one of your objects. I'm going to start with this cockatoo feather, and I'd like you to pick up your pencil or your pen. And then I'd like you to close your eyes. So for the entirety of this drawing process, you're going to keep your eyes closed and you're not going to worry about what your drawing looks like. Now I would like you to bring all of your attention and focus into the hand that's holding your object. So with your eyes closed and with one object in one hand and your pencil in the other, I'd like you now to focus on the outer edge of that object. So I'm just going to use my left hand and I'm going to trace my fingertips along the outer edges of this feather. And I'm going to mimic that journey with the pencil in my right hand. And as I'm doing this, I'm very conscious of the sounds of the black cockatoos or yellow spotted black cockatoos in the distance. But I'm just trying to bring my attention back to what's happening under my fingertips, just continuing this journey of the outer edge of this feather. And as I continue, just trying to be more conscious of those details. And because I have my eyes closed, I'm not worrying about what this looks like at all. Okay. Now I'm going to switch my attention and focus on feeling the details on the surface of this feather. And maybe now I'm going to change to using smaller marks, because all of these, I find that the surface is actually incredibly nuanced. And this is something that our eyes actually can't see. So when I'm just feeling this with my fingertips, I realize that there are all these incredible bumps and striations and wow, that cockatoo sound is really very compelling. Okay, coming back to what's under my fingertips. I can find more details here now. And again, I'm still not worrying about what this looks like. I'm just gonna keep feeling this object. Okay. Now when you're done, you can open your eyes. Now if you've been doing this activity with a family member or a friend, it can be nice to swap your objects and have a go doing the same thing with an object that they've chosen. It can be nice to actually discuss with them how you translated the outer shape of the object and also the surface of the object as you were drawing with your other hand. Have a look at the similarities and the differences in the ways that you both interpreted these things using the same objects, and I can guarantee that your marks will be completely unique to you. So it's also nice to reflect upon your thought processes and what you were feeling as you were actually drawing. So I know that for me, when I have my eyes closed, I tend to become very attuned to the sounds around me. You might be different. You might focus more on how your body's positioned, for example. It's also good to think about whether or not these thoughts or feelings were actually distracting, and the more that you practice this, the more skilled you become at noticing these moments, and they can be really useful skills to have every day. So thank you so much for joining me today. I highly recommend having a look at the MCA Collection online and having a look at Nicole Foreshew's work as well. And I hope to be able to see you in person in the museum soon, and that way you can have a look at Nicole Foreshew's work in the flesh as well. So thank you so much, and take care. Bye.